Well, I get a lot from this training. I think I shared a lot in the group that we were just in about kind of what I got. I think in the beginning of these 5 weeks, I focused on learning to actively, or not learning, but honing my ability to kind of like listen to exactly the words that are said, like no more, no less. And as time went on, I noticed I felt more grounded in my truth as I was speaking. And both of those things felt so important. And like two major gifts that I think that this training provides. So I think I'm looking forward to getting added to the Google group, the list, and kind of just getting, I think this takes even more practice. And so I'm excited to learn about all the different opportunities there are. And it's just been wonderful. And so I really kind of have appreciated this time. So thank you. So I just feel very inspired just by people's, like Tiffany had alluded to, just sticking with this and also plans for the future. I can sometimes have a tendency to be a little shy, and like bringing an empathy circle into my sphere, no matter where, is, it's going to be going out on a limb a little bit, but I do want to, because I think it is very impactful. And that's part of what feels shy about it, because it has an impact. And so to be willing to have an impact, whether that be with family, with friends, with work. And so I'm hoping to continue to have the support of everyone in doing that.
What I liked about the training, I would say, first of all, the generosity of everyone who's participating in the training. I do think that you guys are volunteering your time for spreading the empathy culture, and I think that's really great, and that's really generous of you guys to do. Especially that I do believe of the power of communication. I think Bill have touched on that today from his experience. During my study, from my background, and having to do some experience or reflective papers, I've experienced that too. And I've saw that how lack of communication can escalate conflict very easily. So yeah, thank you guys.
When I started this, I was thinking about it in terms of me being a better listener when I'm conducting mediations, but this has helped. This training has helped, but it's also helped me to focus on some things about myself. So it's been a win-win situation for me. I am interested in going a little further, so I will be on Monday, I guess, as a trainee. It's really good.
That's fantastic news, Linda.
And one more thing, the buddy calls, I get to meet people from other places, and that's been really great. Now I'm done. I have been talking to God, asking him to show me what my purpose is, what I should be doing, how I can have some type of impact and not just be sitting here letting life go by. And I believe part of this training, because I tripped up on this training, it's just, I was looking for something else, and I, like Alice in Wonderland, I fell into the hole. So I guess this is part of it. And so whatever I can do in the community, and, just to give back, I want to use this. It will be used.
Also, the greater focus that came out of it for me in reference to how do I expand further with this? How do I bring it to my organization? How do I bring it to people in reference to the ability to listen and also to speak in a way that that you're being heard? I think it's powerful that, everyone could benefit from. And I think, like what other people said before, we're rushing through life so much that we're missing the finer points.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just being present. So I appreciate all my buddy conversations I had. I'm looking forward to go further. I probably try to repeat more, to learn more. Again, the society or group that I work with, individuals, everyone can benefit from this. And I just thank you all. So I guess one of my goals is to go further with in deepening the learning, to facilitate more strongly and be comfortable with the flow of it. Also to implement more an organizational type setting. I think it's definitely can be used and can enhance anyone coming into organizations, the ability to listen and to know that you're being heard on both parts, that management power, that facilitation of that piece. I think like someone mentioned earlier, how you lose so many employees because of the power struggle that happens within an organization because they're not listening or speaking clear enough to be heard. So I'm definitely looking forward to go further and deeper with this and how to move forward. I think Rasha spoke about a PhD, and I was like, oh, I love that topic about empathy. It's very interesting. As I look on my next level of understanding and trauma, as Kathy was speaking about as well for the population, because everyone, as this season that we're in, as Bill was saying, is coming out differently and change. There need to be more supports for them, for all of us.
I don't know if this is the best training, but I think that the way it's set up is really, really smart and really effective. It's simple and direct.
Yeah.
And thorough in 5 sessions. It's really clear about what its direct goals are, and just it's very systematic. I've appreciated that. I would participate on Monday if I had it available, because that would be a really good thing for me. So I think what I'll do is come on Saturdays again at this hour and help how I can and learn what I can. Though I'm not available, I think it's next Saturday. And also, Rasha, as we talked about, I would love to try to figure out how to be available on Tuesdays and Lou's thing. Yeah, I can see some very specific ways to take next steps, which I appreciate. And with the goal eventually to create my own thing, not my own thing, but something that comes out of me, if you know what I mean. I have a very small dream, actually. It seems big to me, but relatively speaking, it's small. And that is just to continue working my way out of a tremendous amount of personal isolation that I've let myself fall into over the last many years. And I think that the practice of empathy is a really good way to do that, or will have a role to play. If I just organized an empathy circle among my acquaintances, it would be awesome. If I can pull myself out of my little rut and do that.
And what I liked about training, first of all, I'm super grateful for all your volunteering time. I found a lot of commonalities with Shannon's words. I learned a lot in the skills that were presented to all of us as the weeks went on. I like the structure, I like the feedback, I like the buddy calls, and most important, I like the practice. The benefits of the training to me were like first of all, I met great people. I think I met almost everybody over here except maybe 2 that are on screen. I learned about everybody's great experiences, and they taught me indirectly about their experiences and impacted me. I practiced the reflecting and the listening skills, something I needed to work on. So thank you for the opportunity. And to close all that, I'm liking to see where I can maybe contribute more and giving back to this amazing community. So thank you. So I believe in crawl, walk, run. So the crawling for me is keep exercising the empathetic listening and reflecting back what was being said, exactly how we preach. Another thing is Bill gave me a few ideas to do with my kindergarten and grade 1 kids. So empathetic listening for students. I'm gonna start practicing that. Also, similar to a lot of you would like to join the cohort trainings and the cafes and contribute back over there. And for whoever sends us out, their own, whoever is facilitating their own circles, more than happy if I have, the time and the schedules online to contribute to that and be part of your experience.
I had a lot of benefits. I think the whole idea of this, the fact that, that this is like a volunteer run thing and people are just doing this because they're so passionate about it, I find that extremely inspiring. So that just that whole idea to be immersed in something like this is incredible. And I liked everything, kind of like what Raid said. I like the buddy call and the challenges and how everything was structured and the feedback forms, and it was just very well organized. And one of the main things was I learned how to express myself more and to get more in touch with my true self. And a lot of walls came down that just really allowed me to be me more, and also to really get the essence of people instead of listening to the words, just really feeling them and appreciating people more. And one more big thing was I kind of went into this thinking, oh, this is going to help people deal with their problems. And yes, that is something, but this whole joy thing just came up for me. And it just seems extremely, extremely profound way to grow your joy when you share it with others and hear other people's joy. It seems like a tremendous practice. So I'm really looking forward to starting this new circle project that I'm going to be doing. I am very excited to bring this to people. I think a lot of people have been kind of what Stephen was saying, in their own little world. And I do feel like this really does, it's like a whole new animal, this practice, and breaking down some walls and just allowing some incredibly deep connections and just getting to know yourself. And so I'm really looking forward to diving more into it. I feel like it could just be, this is the start of something. It could just keep going and going. So I do have it's starting September 11th, Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably email all of you for the first one. I'm going to start having 5 people, just empathy circle, and then maybe it will grow and we could do a cafe. I could get some more facilitators on sharing joys. And thank you.
One of the things I appreciate about this circle is how so many people stuck with it. And I don't think we give enough credit to the people who've been here for the 5 or 6 weeks that we did it. I understand some people are trainers, but you did not have to be here. And it's still very comforting to come every Saturday and see the same people, as opposed to, oh, I got bored, I just stopped coming. It's a disconnect when that happens. And if you're building culture and people don't show up, then you're not really building the way you thought you were. So just the appreciation for everyone who showed up every Saturday for this time. What will I be doing next in the empathy circle and building a culture? And instead of making it so intentional, which is what I said in our small groups, I'm just going to try to practice it all the time. That way it'll become more natural to me. And that way, without any forethought, people can feel like I've empathically listened to them without having to necessarily be on a Zoom call and that being the goal of a meeting, which is really treating people like that. all the time, and then we'll build from there.
As I said in the small group, I'll say in this larger group, everybody who's spoken so far and over the weeks, you awaken things in me that I didn't know were there. So I can say amen to what's been said before. I'll hit the idea of the generosity of the trainers and making this available. I'm going to sign up for I'll be at my third cohort in a couple of weeks. And I expect that it'll be as valuable as the first two. There's a kind of eternal time that I get into listening to the essence of other folks. It's just not ever bad to do that. In real life, there's a political race in Lawrence, and it's so troubling because people just glance off of each other. Nothing lands. So I take with me a commitment to help people to stand still and listen. Stop, look, listen, and that's been strengthened in me. I can go on, but that's a minute, I think. At the risk of giving you an oversized ego, Edwin, I just want to say I really appreciate your being, I think what you said was unabashed, but there have been certain genius moments. I think Marshall Linehan's dialectical behavior therapy, Thich Nhat Hanh's engaged Buddhism, and this has genius to it. It's so timely. So where to go forward? I'm going to go slowly. I'm going to keep talking to my clinician friend. I have a number of irons in the fire. And I'm going to take the next cohort and hopefully be a better participatory trainee. But this is really the cat's meow right now. I think in our larger society, whether that society knows it or not, we're coming for you.
All right. So much that's been shared already. I mean, I resonate with so much that has been shared. Tiffany speaking about people showing up every week and, feeling a sense of community and reliability and dependability in terms of holding space together. And I think that was really important. And yeah, just, meeting new people, cultivating perhaps deeper relationships. The things that come up in these empathy circles for discussion are not superficial. The empathy circles tend to flush up more enriching discussions about our humanity and what's going on with us. And I believe that cultivates a greater connection, which is, I believe, what the world needs more of. And, meeting people from all over the world, that's a cool thing too. How lovely that is. And then what Martina shared about authenticity. And Martina, I've actually noticed your shift actually when you're talking about more of you, like more of your authentic self is showing up more unabashedly, right? And more easily. So I experienced that in you. I've seen that shift in you. And I think that's awesome that's what this can do, right? It allows us to have an experience of ourselves that is deeper, more authentic, more connected. Yeah. And so I love the way it's structured as well. I really appreciate the challenges, because challenges are good to have, right? Because you never know, it's good to be prepared for possible challenges. And then for me, I just want to participate as much as I can, in any way I can to keep involved, to keep being part of this in any way I can. So that's where I'm at. I'd really like to sort of connect more with this community. I mean, so many contacts, so many emails, so many possibilities with regards to even building with relationships within this community. And right now, I feel like that's what I need to do, is keep cultivating, this connection with the community. And I'm not really ready to cultivate my own empathy circle because of the context of where I am in my own life. But I definitely want to, continue forging a sense of belonging in this community and building relationships within it. And from there, offering at some point, offering it in terms of an empathy circle that I would be facilitating. So that's like where I'm at right now.
Great.
And I'm looking forward to, and I'm really looking forward to reaching out and sharing more and deepening. Thank you so much.
Well, I love what Tiffany said about the commitment. This is quite a commitment, 5 Saturdays in a row for 2.5 hours. And so I appreciate everybody making that. And I love what Francesca said about how empathy really deepens the connections and we share from a deep place. That's been very rewarding. And also from myself, to see what comes up from me. So that's interesting, things that I didn't know I was thinking or feeling. And so, and how I'm bringing this out into the world, first of all, I'm going to keep coming to every Saturday because I love it. I can't imagine my life without it now. And secondly, I'm a volunteer for the Peace Alliance. And so I'm bringing it to the Peace Alliance to do one night a month to start with. So I'm very excited about doing that. So thank you all. Tiffany, I'm your copycat today. I love the idea of coming to calls with the intention of just providing empathy. I think that would really switch around for me. And anybody who would like to help me get started with the Peace Alliance the empathy circles, feel free to contact me. You can contact me at Kathy at Peace Alliance. It'll be practice for you and it'll help me get everything started.
Well, I love this. I keep coming back to it. And I think one of the things I really appreciate is the learn by doing. I have been an academic so much in my life that this is really refreshing. And I love how, because of that, I feel I can connect with more different people. And in terms of the future, my Spanish language class is back on track. I got an email. They do want to do it and looking at times, and I'm excited to be working with that. And within this community, I don't want to forget to say that I am interested and have been encouraged by Edwin to work on community building. And one of the ways that we can do community building is remember to ask each other to participate in our practice empathy circles. And more than practice, we might want facilitators, like one person keeps the time and the other one does the other stuff. So please remember that we are all a resource to each other, and that the email list is available, so we can make contact and continue working together and build community. And if you have any other ideas, I'm very interested in hearing them.
Yeah, so, we had started our training about the core values of a culture of empathy. So that was empathy, mutuality, openness, and care. So it's really, for me, it's like, how do we bring those values into the overall culture in our country and the world for that matter. So I just keep looking at different options, ways of spreading that message. And my congressman here has said he's a Democrat, he would do an empathy circle with Republicans. So can we get politicians to model empathy circles, hold more trainings and just keep trying to scale up.
And that's one of the things that I love about the empathy circles. It's the openness and the support I find here. anytime I come here with ideas, with anything, there is always a space that's being held for me, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for that opportunity. And like I was telling in the group this week, this cohort helping train this cohort was especially important for me because it taught me some things about myself and how to kind of overcome them as well. So I found a problem which I didn't know was there, and I also found a solution to it thanks to this cohort. So I'm deeply grateful for that as well. And I think that's it from me. Thank you. I've been doing empathy circles every alternate Tuesday, but again, it was just, especially when the pandemic got really worse, it was just my way of kind of bringing together people and just giving them a space where they can come, feel safe, and just speak about whatever they want. And empathy buddy calls, it was all people. Like I do it with 3 or 4 others, and all of them, I met them through empathy buddy calls, right? And so and that's been going on. In fact, I think the next one will be the 12th or the 13th. So it's going really well. And we usually have around 10 to 15 people join every week, and a lot of people come back every other week. So that's something that I would like to continue doing. I'd continue to be a part of the design team calls on Wednesdays with Edwin. I mean, it's a call where we just discuss things that just ways to kind of get this process and everything about empathy circles as best as we possibly can get. And so we take up different projects and we discuss them, and a lot of ideas. So that's something that we're looking forward to doing. And then my work is all about empathy. So my organization, the Empathy University, so I usually go very, very deep into empathy in very long sort of courses. But like Edwin was saying, I think this is the perfect intro, right? Where I can get people to, see what empathy is without really even speaking. I can just show them what it is just by doing a circle. So this is the perfect sort of intro for people who would like later want to go very deep into empathy. And another thing that like Celine was saying, getting empathy circles in my regional language is something that I'm really passionate about, because in India we have like lots of languages, and I come from a southern state where we have our own very regional language. And so I'd really love to bring it to people here, and I've been talking to a couple of friends and just discussing ways in which maybe we can slowly get started doing it that way. So these are all things I'm looking forward to in the future. Yeah, and I hope you'll all be a part of this journey and we'll all get to work together in the coming days. Yeah, thank you.
I think we're all aware that we are facing large challenges and problems to our very existence as a species. And if we're going to overcome them, we're going to have to cooperate. And so I really appreciate each one of you. When you look back, if you could go forward 50, 100 years, and if we survive, it's because people are going to be dialoguing like this. And each one of you has created a mini culture of empathy in your heart and shared it with other ones. And this is the beginning of turning this ship around. Thank you. So, my next steps, and I'll put that, are, to get empathy into schools, because I think this is the kids who grow up and learn this technique can benefit themselves and, and our culture as a whole.
My intention is to continue on in the community and to just try to contribute in as many ways as I possibly can, and also to continue the trauma sensitive, this kind of trauma sensitive work that's emerging. And my original reasons for kind of coming into the movement was around this piece around suicide awareness. So I feel that there's something there that wants to emerge. So I'm just trying to sense out, what's needed and what fits, and then just, try to follow that. And I really was touched by what Linda shared there about just just kind of trying to sense into what's called for, what's needed, and to try and, to step up to that.
in our breakout room, I was sharing how I've been thinking. I have been starting to call this is the best empathy training out there. And to kind of give it a context, it's the best first step sort of gateway foundational practice that I know of. I've been doing, working on this topic of empathy for like 14 years now. Those books behind me are all books on empathy. I've interviewed like almost every one of those authors. There's about 300 interviews. And, I've kind of just really delved into empathy pretty intensely. And I find this practice, based on the work of Carl Rogers, empathic listening, bring it into a mutual empathic listening is really the first step, the most effective that I've found. So I'm becoming, I heard the word unabashed. I'm becoming unabashed in saying that, have posted it, to LinkedIn and so forth. And I could go through all the reasons why I think it is the best in terms of I think somebody else mentioned it, but you're doing it, you're practicing it versus just didactic. Didactic is helpful, but just like exercise, if you have didactic exercise, you learn about exercise, that's good, that's helpful, but it's the doing of it that's so important. And this will be helpful in all the other learnings, practices that you do for learning and deepening empathy practices, person-centered approach, NBC, motivational interviewing, mediation, human-centered design. This basic skill is really foundational. Yeah.